Welcome back, Panda Nation. On the pole tonight is Matt Deese. Outside of him, William Hargraves. Row number 2, Johnny Ratley and Jacob Todd. Row number 3, Billy and Blake Northcutt. Row 4, Joey Durbin and Jory Gotham. Row number 5, Jerry Switzer and Brandon Culp. Row 6, Jordan Gage and Wade Burris. Row 7, Keith Erickson and Grant Lyde. In row 8, we've got Kyle Ramsey and Steve Radines. Row number 9, Matthew Hargraves and Boomer Lindell. Row number 10, Ryan Darty and Mike Arnold. Rounding on our field, Jackie Whaley, Michael Bangan, and Ron Snyder. This is the Dirt Panda Stock Car Association, week number 5 at USA Speedway. As Matt Deese brings us around for the final time, coming out of turn 4, the pace truck will dip in and we'll be green flag racing. As all the cars make their way around turns 1 and 2, we've got some contact here. We're going to bring out an early caution on lap 1. Looks like Michael Bangan sent it in hard and got into the back of Jackie Whaley. So we will reset double file and try to restart this race here with lap 5 of 40. As Deese takes us down the front stretch again into turn 1. There's some contact there coming out of turn 2. It looks like Blake Northcutt's going to really benefit from that. As we come out of 4 here onto the front stretch, Hargraves has quite a lead there. Northcutt and Deese are now battling for second. Hargraves opting for that low line. Northcutt's working the bottom on Deese right now as they go into turn 1. Did have a caution on lap 6. It looks like there's a little bit of contact with the wall. Billy got shoved down the track and had an awkward entry into turn 3. That's our second caution of the night as Hargraves leads us out of turn 4 behind him, Northcutt, Deese, Ratley, and Durbin. And just like that, with 2 cautions, we've completed 10 of 40 laps. We are 25% of the way through this A feature, 23 cars. USA is a pretty long track. It's a big track, so all these guys are starting to get a little bit of distance between them. Hopefully we'll have a good stretch of green flag racing here. It's just a handful of them still running side by side at this point. Looks like they've all started to give and take a little bit more going in and coming out of the corners. got some pretty good racing back here for the 6th and 7th spot. As Todd tries to work that bottom side on Ratley, I believe. That might be Colt. Looks like Todd's able to get around Ratley, and about halfway back the pack here, Steve Radines and Matt Hargraves are battling it out in front of a bunch of hungry cars. It's about 5 or 6 of them there you could throw a blanket over. We'll see how that pans out over the next couple of laps. Hargraves, Deese, and Northcutt are all spread out there in the top 3. As Jordan Gage now is trying to make an attempt on Matt Hargraves going into turn 1. Northcutt's really starting to fall back. Ratley and Durbin are gaining on him pretty good. I imagine once Ratley and Durbin figure out who's going to lead each other around, Northcutt's going to have somebody after him as well. Wouldn't surprise me either if Ratley could pull off a 2-for-1 in one of these corners. And we're halfway through the A feature now, 20 of 40 laps. We've been green flag for the last 10.
Somebody hit me.
And looks like
somebody hit me into
coming out here.
Somebody else.
As Hargraves pleads his case, we'll ride along with Steve Radines. He's right behind Matt Hargraves. Jordan Gage in front of him. Boomer Lindell caught a piece there. We're going to ride now with Michael Bangan. Looks like Hargraves kind of maybe turned in a little early, slid up the track, and Steve wasn't able
somebody hit me
to check up in time. Turned him around, so there's going to be a couple of cars damaged there. Radines has fallen back to 20th position after some tough racing. That's going to close the front of the pack up again as we take the green flag. Northcutt was really falling off there in the 3rd position with Ratley and Durbin behind him. Looks like Durbin actually led that last lap. Alright, caution flag out again. We're going to ride along with Blake Northcutt and see what happened.
I'm sure.
Looks like Ratley was able to finally get around him.
I'm sure.
Got into Switzer just a little bit. to set his entry off, and there was pretty minimal contact there, but it turned Ratley around, so he's going to take an EOL and go to the back of the pack. That's a tough break for him. Hargraves will lead us around again. Deese now still in second. Durbin is up to 3. He's in a podium spot. We've got Durbin and Switzer now battling for third. Those two have had a history of running each other pretty hard, so we'll see how it turns out. Caution's out again. We're going to ride along with Blake Northcutt, who just took that EOL. Looks like there was a couple of cars got into each other. Boomer got turned around, and I don't think Blake could see him there going through the corner and coming down the track. So we are reset again. We've only got 10 laps to go in tonight's main event. Ryan Darty there ducking to the infield grass. See what that caution was about. We're in the chase cam of Kyle Ramsey. Looks like him and Matt Hargraves tried to dive in real deep there into turn 1 and slammed into the back of Billy Northcutt, turning everybody around. We are back to green with only 6 to go now. Hargraves is still our leader. Switzer's moved up to second position. He's been able to capitalize off the last caution or two. Durbin back to 4th. Looks like we might have another car spun around in turn 4. Right along with Durbin and Todd. Durbin sends it in pretty hard on that high side there. Just caught a little bit too much. He checked up for Switzer and ended up spinning himself out there to avoid an accident. We now have just started a green-white checker. We've got 5 attempts set up in this league for green-white checkers. Anytime we're under 5 laps, we are starting single file to avoid using all 5 of those attempts. Hargraves is going to lead us around, picking up the white flag going into turn 1. William Hargraves led the race, green to checker. Congratulations to him on his second win with the Dirt Panda Stock Car Association. This was week 5 at USA Speedway. If you enjoy this type of content, please remember to hit the subscribe button, ring the notification bell. And we will see you next Wednesday for week 6 at Volusia.